In the year 2025, we live in the most connected time in human history. We can message a friend across the world instantly. We can video chat from our phones, join global communities, and share our lives with hundreds of people at once. Yet more people than ever say they feel alone, disconnected, invisible. This is the loneliness paradox. In this video, we're going to explore why this is happening, why so many of us feel isolated in a world built for connection, what's really behind the loneliness epidemic, and what we can do to fight it. Let's begin. We live in an age where reaching out to someone has never been easier. But being easy to reach is not the same as feeling truly seen. We're surrounded by devices that keep us constantly updated. Yet many of those updates don't make us feel closer to anyone. Think about this. How many people did you talk to today in person? How many conversations did you have that went beyond small talk or quick texts? Technology has made our communication faster, but not necessarily deeper. We've replaced hours of quality time with minutes of screen time. We live in a world where we can talk to hundreds of people and still feel like we don't matter to a single one. Social media was meant to bring us together, and in many ways it has. We can follow our friends' lives, stay in touch with people we haven't seen in years, and share our thoughts in real time. But there's a dark side. The more we scroll, the more we compare. We see highlight reels of other people's lives, perfect photos, happy couples, dream vacations, and we start to believe everyone else is living and we're just watching. Social media creates a feeling of closeness, but it often lacks emotional depth. Liking a post is not the same as checking in with someone. Leaving a comment is not the same as having a heart-to-heart conversation. And over time, all this surface-level interaction leaves us craving something deeper, something real. In 2020, the world shifted. The pandemic made remote work common, even necessary, and many of us adapted quickly. But in 2025, working from home is now a permanent reality for millions. At first, it sounded like freedom, no commute, flexible hours, sweatpants all day. But soon, something was missing. We lost those casual moments, the hallway chats, the office banter, the lunch breaks with co-workers. Working from home often means working alone, and over time that isolation builds up. It's not just about missing colleagues, it's about missing connection, structure, and purpose. Even people who enjoy remote work still feel the emotional effects of doing everything alone. We assume that loneliness only happens to people in small towns or remote areas, but some of the loneliest people live in the biggest cities. Why? Because being surrounded by people doesn't mean you feel connected to them. You can live in a high-rise with hundreds of neighbors and never learn a single name. You can ride a packed train and feel completely invisible. In cities, people are often too busy, too distracted, or too cautious to engage. We avoid eye contact. We keep our headphones in, we rush past one another. The result? Even in crowded spaces, people feel unseen. Urban living creates convenience, but it often comes at the cost of community. Think back to a few decades ago. Communities had gathering places, churches, local clubs, sports leagues, libraries, and neighborhood events. These places weren't just for fun, they were how people formed relationships. They were where strangers became friends, where people found support, belonging, and identity. But today, participation in these institutions has dropped significantly. Fewer people attend religious services, fewer join clubs or community groups. Even kids' sports teams are seeing lower involvement. Busy schedules, digital entertainment, rising costs, and a shift away from local life. And with the decline of these community spaces, People have fewer chances to build meaningful connections. We don't bump into each other the way we used to, and we don't make time for connection like we once did. Loneliness doesn't just hurt emotionally, it affects our mental and physical health. Research shows that chronic loneliness is linked to depression, anxiety, sleep problems, high blood pressure, and even shorter lifespans. But here's the trap. The more lonely we feel, the less energy and confidence we have to reach out. We isolate ourselves even further. We assume people won't care. We think we're the only ones feeling this way, and that belief makes things worse. This creates a vicious cycle. Loneliness leads to poor mental health. Poor mental health leads to deeper loneliness. Breaking this cycle requires awareness, courage, and sometimes help from others. In today's world, personal success is the highest goal. We're told to hustle, grind, be independent, chase our dreams. And while those ideas are powerful, they come with a cost. Individualism teaches us to look inward, not outward, to focus on personal goals and not collective well-being, to avoid relying on others, even when we need support. As a result, we often downplay the importance of community. We see relationships as optional, not essential. But humans are social creatures. We were never meant to do life completely alone, and no amount of individual achievement can replace the feeling of being truly connected. In response to rising loneliness, new technologies have emerged. AI companions, virtual friends, talking assistants. Some are designed to simulate relationships. They listen, they respond, they remember details. But no matter how advanced the code, these interactions lack one thing: human authenticity. Relying on digital companions may offer temporary comfort, but it may also lead people to stop seeking real relationships. And while AI can assist, it can't connect the way people can. You might think older generations struggle most with loneliness, but the truth is, Gen Z and millennials report the highest levels of isolation. Why is that? Many young people grew up with screens. Social media was their main way to connect, and while it's familiar, it doesn't always teach emotional intimacy. They've also entered adulthood during unstable times, economically, socially, globally. Friendships are more transient, careers are uncertain, relationships are often delayed or avoided, and without the tools to build lasting bonds, many feel adrift. For younger generations, loneliness isn't just about being alone, it's about lacking direction, support, and belonging. The loneliness epidemic may be widespread, but it's not unstoppable. Here are some real actions anyone can take to start building connection. First, be intentional. Reach out to people. Don't wait for someone to call. You can be the one to start the conversation. Second, join something: a group, a club, a volunteer project, a class. Shared activity builds bonds, even if it's small at first. Third, practice deep listening. When someone talks to you, give them your full attention. No distractions, no judgment, just presence. Fourth, share openly. Be honest about your feelings. Let others see the real you. That vulnerability is what creates emotional closeness. Fifth, help someone else. Connection grows when we serve others. You might lift someone else's loneliness and heal your own at the same time. Sixth, put the phone down just for a while. Take walks without screens. Sit in silence. Practice face-to-face interaction again. Seventh, normalize the conversation. Talk about loneliness openly. It's not weakness, it's human. The more we speak about it, the less power it has over us. So, why are we more alone than ever in 2025? It's not because we're broken, it's not because we're antisocial, it's because the world around us changed faster than we could adapt. We were given tools for connection, but not the wisdom to use them well. We were told to chase independence, but not reminded that belonging is a basic need. And we replaced real community with convenience. But there's hope, because connection is still possible, even in a disconnected world, and it starts with simple choices: one conversation, one shared moment, one small act of reaching out. You are not alone in feeling alone, and that truth, all by itself, can be the beginning of something better. If this message spoke to you, share it with someone you care about. Let them know they matter, because we all do. Thank you for watching. Stay human, stay connected, and see you in the next one.